You have my support. What is there more that you need?
Yes.
What?
So why do you know I'm upset that you share all the things with my mom the first day and share all the problems we have?
It's nice to see some vulnerability for a change, some truth, some honesty. The masks being dropped, even if it's for a minute or two. Lord knows that's rare when it comes to Darcey and Georgie and Julia and Brandon. But, as nice as it is to see, that doesn't mean that everything's okay. Oh, believe me, old habits die hard. So, with that in mind, let's rewind to the start and pick up where we left off with Brandon and Julia. So, the last time we saw them, Brandon was storming out of his house with his parents after yet another fight with Julia. So, when we joined Julia and her parents for breakfast the next morning, her parents naturally are concerned.
А ты позвонила Брэндону?
Нет, я написала сообщение, что нужно поговорить сегодня. Больше мы с ним не общались.
Больше он не ответил?
Julia seems ashamed. You've got to imagine, this is a million miles away from the happy family life, the perfect picture that she was hoping to paint to her parents. Yeah, that pretense is well and truly gone. Night one at her house and already she's argued with her husband, argued with her in-laws, and then her husband has walked out on her and spent the night elsewhere. Like, that can't be nice. Does this happen often? Do you fight often? Her parents want to know. To which Julia reluctantly admits that, yeah, we do. I never feel like I'm his priority, she admits.
I'm never the number one for him. He always will be choose his parents. I'm doing big steps to have a family and he doesn't even choosing me.
Yeah, it's true. It's a very big concern. Before kids, before they should even think about having kids, Brandon needs to mature. He needs to grow up and get himself out from under his parents' wings. Now, it's at this point that Brandon arrives back home. He greets Julia's parents. I mean, he's nice enough. It's a bit standoffish. You can clearly tell that he's not happy, but Julia asks him if they can have a private conversation. And when they go outside to talk, obviously the first question she wants to ask is,
What happened last night? First time my parents see our house and you just left.
I just hit a boiling point. I was tired and I wanted to get away.
Sorry, but that's not good enough. Just because you're tired and you've had a disagreement, that doesn't give you the right to embarrass Julia like that, to leave your family home, to show her up in front of her parents. Like, what he should have done, A, is not storm off like a little kid, like he always seems to do, but B, actually sit down and communicate, work through your problems. Running away, hanging your wife out to dry like that solves nothing.
So you won't tell me if we are decide to have a baby and we have some hard situation, hard problem in our life, you will be just run away like that?
Yeah, trust me, Julia, we're all asking exactly the same question. What will this be like when you add a baby into the equation? Like, will he choose his parents over his own child as well? Surely not, hopefully not. But Julia explains that all she wanted was for a nice night. She just wanted to present a happy front to her parents. A nice life, a happy life, her new life in America. But, of course, that's just not the reality of their situation. Now, while Brandon says that he understands where Julia's coming from, he also has some bones to pick with her too.
I mean, I understand where you're coming from, but all I know is your reaction to everything is not helping either. You gotta relax, because you're only making it worse, you know?
Well, maybe she'd be able to relax a bit more if you set some boundaries with your parents, Brandon. Maybe take back your mum's key or change the locks. Now, while Julia begrudgingly says that she'll try, like she pulls this face as soon as she says it, she also ominously warns that unless Brandon can put a stop to his mum's behaviour, unless he starts to support her, there's a very real risk that she'll be done with their marriage.
But Brian mom overstepping in our plans. If Brian doesn't start supporting me more, I can go home.
Now, the next time we join the pair later on that day, they're going to the fertility clinic to discuss the results from their last appointment. Thing is, Julia is back to pretending. Like, she doesn't want her parents to have any inkling of a clue that there might be a problem. I get it, it's a very private matter, but it's just weird to me how she's happy to appear on TV and share her private issues with the world, and yet when it comes to the people that love her the most in the world, the people that will support her the most in the world, she'd prefer to paint a happy picture as though everything is okay. If my parents ask you, tell them we're going to the store to buy fruit, she even instructs Brandon. But in the car alone, you can clearly see just how worried, just how nervous she is.
You are so calm down. Look like you are done this before.
I haven't, and I am not, but I'm trying not to freak out about it, you know?
Now, you've got to remember, there's a lot riding on this for Brandon as well. He wants a family, he wants to have kids more than anything. But it's interesting how even when they're both on the same page, they both want the same thing. Their reactions, the way they process everything is very different. Like, Julia just can't understand how he's so calm. Like, it just reinforces the fact that these two are almost always on completely different wavelengths. Now, when they do get to the doctor's office, after an anxious wait for the doctor to come in and see them, the doctor gives them some good news and some bad news. On paper, she says, everything looks great. You have a lot of eggs. But, she says, I can see that fertility might be an issue.
So when Lanessa did your saline sonogram, she found a little bit of scar tissue and a little polyp. So my recommendation would be to go ahead and do a hysteroscopy.
Now, as the doctor explains, this procedure involves putting a tiny camera into her uterus while she's under general anaesthetic, while she's asleep, to essentially, as the doctor puts it, clean out your uterus. Don't worry, she says, it's a very commonly done procedure. Like, this would really help boost your chances of conceiving, she says. And while both Julia and Brandon are obviously very relieved to hear this news, while Julia even goes as far as to give both the doctors massive hugs. As soon as the doctors leave the room, you can immediately tell something is playing on Julia's mind.
If we need to talk or my brain is gonna explode.
Why don't we just move forward with the procedure, Julia?
No, please, no, absolutely not.
Why not? What else is there to do?
Julia explains to Brandon that she has a major fear, a phobia she calls it, of being put under anaesthesia. She's never had it done to her before. Like, she's completely freaked out by the idea of being put to sleep before surgery. Like, that is more scary to her than the actual surgery itself, it seems. But not for the first time, as is completely normal for these two. They're on completely different wavelengths. Brandon doesn't understand why she's so reluctant to get the surgery done.
I never have surgery in my life. I'm so scared to have a surgery because I have a phobia to go into undersleep.
Just seems at this point like you're making excuses.
Now, while I understand where Brandon's coming from, while I understand that for him it sounds like it's a very simple thing to do, for Julia, you can really sense just how fear-stricken she is at the idea of anaesthesia. She seems to almost work herself into a frenzy. No, I've decided here and now I know that I'm for sure not going to do it, she says. And Brandon just can't believe what he's hearing.
I'm not going to do the surgery for sure.
Are you kidding? All right, let's go, Julia. We'll talk about this in the car.
I don't want to talk in the car in this moment.
Now, it's safe to say that their drive home is a tense one. The one silver lining here is that this decision is such an important one that for once they are actually communicating about it. Like, Brandon says to her, I don't understand your decision. To which Julia responds by saying, well, it's not you that has to have the procedure. And she's right, it's her body at the end of the day. Now, wisely, again, not wanting to have this conversation in front of her parents, wanting them not to have any clue that there might be something wrong, she asks Brandon to pull over so they can get out the car.
I feel like Brandon still doesn't understand how I feel. It's like I strong, but it's emotionally inside me, it still hurt, even if I'm not showing that.
Now, Julia goes on to say that when the doctors in Russia told her that she wouldn't be able to have a kid, she accepted it. Going through all of this again just opens up those old scars, she says. That's what hurts me. That's what's mentally tiring and draining for me. And that, I think, dare I say it, seems like honesty. That seems like a lot more believable reason than she's just scared of anaesthesia. Don't get me wrong, I'm not doubting that she's scared. She is clearly scared. But I think a lot of her resistance here has to do with the mental overwhelm, the emotional toil that this whole journey has had on her for many years. So forget the surgery. What if, Brandon, she asks, what if I decide I don't want to open up these scars again? What if I just decide I don't want kids, period?
And what if I decide I doesn't want to have kids ever?
See, this is what I'm worried about. I'm worried it's just been excuses and that you really don't want this. You don't really want to do it.
Look, I get it. I understand why Brandon has that concern. You can understand why it might seem like Julia actually doesn't want kids. But just look at her. Look at the toil that this has taken on her. This is real. It's raw. I don't think this is fake. She's being genuinely vulnerable here. She's trying to express to Brandon that what she needs right now is his support. When she asks questions like that, it's not because she doesn't want kids, it's because she's scared. The last thing she needs right now is for her husband to pressure her about something that's haunted her for all of these years. And to his credit, Brandon agrees to back off. He agrees to just give her space and support.
I'm overwhelming, and I don't, only what I ask you, don't press me now for anything.
Okay. I'm not gonna press you.
It's a lot. It's very overwhelming for Julia, but there are some positive signs here. Now, over in Bulgaria, someone else is also finally opening up. After last night's eventful meeting with Georgie's parents, Georgie wants Darcey to know exactly why he's not happy this morning.
So why do I'm upset? We share all the things with my mom the first day and share all the problems we have.
Now, Darcey claims that she opened up to Georgie's mum because she felt close to her. She felt like it was okay to share. But really, on the first night? Like, Georgie's made it very clear to Darcey just how important this first meeting was with his parents. And yet, all we're getting here from Darcey is me.
I feel like I need to be open to get it out. I can't hold that in. My thing is with you need to open up more to me and tell me these things.
And remarkably, that is exactly what happens. Georgie opens up, he's honest, he's vulnerable, and with it, he explains to Darcey that much like Julia, he also wanted to paint a picture to his parents. He wanted them to think that he moved to America and everything was great for him. But, Georgie, the truth has this habit of always coming out.
Shame.
Why are you ashamed? Oh, you wanted them to think that our relationship was perfect?
So I don't want them to worry them. They have their own stuff to deal with.
So is that why you never tell me stuff? Because you don't want to worry me?
Kinda.
I just don't want my parents to think that I'm a failure, he says. They've been married for over 40 years and they're firmly of the belief that if someone's marriage is a failure, then they're a failure. I don't want to let my parents down, he says. Like, it's clear all of this is really weighing on him. The weight of expectations, the weight of the pretense has finally caused him to crack and open up his hard shell.
And you don't want to disappoint somebody, especially your parents.
And so all this pressure is on me now.
I have to prove that I make the right decision.
Now, all of this vulnerability is music to Darcey's ears. This kind of honesty is what she's been praying for all this time. Finally, she feels like she can understand and empathise with Georgie. She thanks him. She reassures him that your parents are proud of you. Look at the life you've built. We're partners. I'm here for you, she says. And I'm going to do everything I can to show your parents that we do have a happy, successful marriage. But, she begs him, please, you need to do this more. So why, Georgie? Why don't you open up more to Darcey?
Maybe it's the same with my parents. Sometimes I hide things, with the kids when they do something stupid. They're afraid their parents are going to be mad about it.
Oh, geez. So you're afraid that I'm going to get mad at you if you tell me something?
Now, for as much as you just know that pains her to hear her husband compare her to a parental figure rather than a wife, This has been a huge breakthrough for the pair of them. Like, kudos to her, she even manages to keep her cool when Georgie says to her, "You act like my mum sometimes." Rather than getting annoyed, rather than that sparking another fight, the pair are both able to acknowledge how much of a breakthrough this has just been for them.
I wish I can actually open and talk and like be able to open and like.
You all right now? You're doing a great job.
But yeah, you're doing a great job listening.
Now, on this positive note, the pair get ready to spend the day with Georgie's dad. They're gonna be going to the forest out in the wilderness tracking boars. But with Georgie dressed in camouflage gear, what do you think Darcey might be wearing?
Hey, Darcey and Jones is here.
Oh, Anna Jones, what's up?
Yeah, Darcey Anna Jones, as we all knew, isn't dressed appropriately. Now, thankfully, that doesn't involve having her breasts out for once. But her attire is more suited to a day shopping rather than a day out in the wilderness tracking wild animals. Like, after a couple of seconds looking her up and down, Georgie's dad, in a polite way, it's not disrespectful, but he tries to imply to her, perhaps you might want to reconsider what you're wearing.
Are you gonna be cold like that?
I'm ready.
We're not going shopping, we're going
Yeah, we're shopping
in a
for
mission.
some boar.
Now, maintaining that she's okay as she is, the adventure begins. They jump in the car and after quite a long drive, they arrive at the forest where they're going to be tracking these boar. But meters away from the car park, like literally you can see the car park from where they're stood, immediately the problems begin.
Grab the shoe off. Take it off. Take it off. Quick. I feel something crawling up my... Georgie! Hurry!
Yeah, you take all the bugs from the leaves.
Georgie comes to Darcey's rescue. He saves her from the bug that was crawling up her leg. But while he's there taking off her boot, all the while, his dad is watching on disapprovingly. Tell her she has to lace them up, he says to Georgie in Bulgarian. Now, thankfully, this is pretty much the height of the adventure. They do see some boar tracks. They even leave some food out for the boar so that they can come back and hunt them again another day. But I think it's safe to say the idea of hunting boar with Darcey Anna Jones in tow has definitely been completely ruled out. Now, as the day comes to a close, Georgie's dad asks if they had a nice time, to which Darcey says that she's loved it, she's enjoyed the day, but more than that, she's enjoyed spending time together as a family, building memories. So, while translating her message back to his dad, Georgie also adds an extra little something for his father.
Може би за бъдеще си вземем някаква къща тук или място да имаме, лято да идваме по-често.
Дай Боже. Поработите за това, ще стане, поне.
Look, I've got no problem with someone wanting to have a home in their own country, right? It's like a home base. It's a tie back to their roots. I've got no problem with that. But shouldn't he be honest with Darcey about it first? Like, could this be the reason why Georgie was so secretive about his salary? Why he hid the fact that he's got a raise? Has he perhaps been stashing away his money so that he can buy this house? Like, forgive me for saying, but there's a lot of parallels here between Georgie and Andrei. He was also very secretive about money, wasn't he? In their case, it was money that was lost on a house. Now, for whatever reason, her spidey sense is tingling. Darcey immediately senses that Georgie might not have been honest just then. What did you and your dad just say to each other? She asks.
Huh?
See, hopefully our dreams come true, our plans come true.
I feel like you're not translating what I'm saying to him.
Yeah, maybe Darcey should have just gone with her intuition. She's right. He wasn't translating what was said. It's a shame, isn't it? For the one step forward that they made this morning. This deceit, the dishonesty, the hiding things from Darcey is just taking it 2 steps back again. One thing's for sure, whether it's Brandon and Julia or Darcey and Georgie, vulnerability is great and all, but old habits really do seem to die hard.